Welcome, welcome. We have with us this morning Christina Sandwin, who has obliged us and me by coming in. And I we'll speak together a little bit about Christina's history and her limitations and what we'll be working with today. The general ballpark is a very tight spine from very early childhood. She's been doing her own healing exercises with yoga, and what was the other system you named?
Egoscue, it's called.
Egoscue. And she has seen some definite improvement, but we're going to see how we can just help her along today and add some more tools to her healing journey. So Christina, I just want to talk for a little bit about what your situation is. So tight back from early childhood, no major injuries, no major traumas, but just a kind of overtoning, tightening of your sensory motor nervous system loop that's giving you a lot of constant, more or less constant tension back here, and some discomfort, I assume, and restrictions in movement. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, can everyone hear me okay if I'm facing this way? Yeah, so I, like I said, maybe it started around 10 or 11. Like certainly noticed it first as just kind of like tension in the upper tracts.
Right.
So started doing a lot of physical therapy, even like did it a few times throughout my teens, really.
Well, of course, I assume it's no historical accident that it started about that time, because 10, 11, 12, moving into, adolescence and the hormone hurricane and very different shifts in our bodies and our social presence and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say it was maybe, so I'm 31 now, it was maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years ago where I was noticing it was also now in the lower back. I noticed like more of a pelvic tilt.
And that is a pelvic tilt forward.
Yes.
Increasing this lumbar curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never been very flexible, like even touching my toes or things like that has been challenging. I just have always kind of held that level of tension. I know hamstrings, piriformis, IT band, kind of all of it. At various points, I feel like I've had pain and trouble with.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll begin by just doing I'm going to do a little gentle range of motion assessment with you and just see, and as your body moves and as I direct you, your tissues will be moving. And as your tissues move, you'll start to get more and more conscious sensation coming from those tissues. So we're going to just start with my observations and your internal experience of where principal tightnesses lie. You also mentioned your thoracic spine was not all that flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just start with a little gentleness, and I'm going to, if we can move back a little bit so we've got a little bit better camera perspective. So the first thing I want to do, Christina, is I'm going to be just using a hand here and a hand behind your shoulder blade here. And insofar as it's possible for you, just surrender to the movements I'm gently moving you through. And as we begin to rotate this way, and I want to say, as I just began moving, Christina, there was hold, move, hold, move. So that speaks to that tone that's residually there all the time. And that is what we're looking for, more and more surrender, more and more awareness of. So as I just gently direct your shoulders and twist your spine around this way, I want you to tell me, as rotation increases, where you feel restriction and tension most. I don't ever want to cause discomfort, but I want to just check out this rotational capacity to see where you're experiencing tightness.
Yeah, it feels underneath the shoulder blade. I can definitely feel the mid back.
Down into low back. See if you can just let that low back rotate a little more. Yeah, that's pretty resistant, isn't it? Can you feel as I challenge it a little bit? That pull twist through your low back? Yeah. So let's just float around the other way. Much freer this direction, is it not? Yeah. Okay, so leftward rotation is substantially more restricted. And again, I'm just going to give little gentle challenges and see if throughout your spine you can begin to surrender to that rotation, and let me know where you're feeling restrictions as we go this way.
Yeah, I can feel more in the mid back.
More in the mid back this way. How's your lower back?
I don't feel that much. Like on either side, I didn't feel that much.
I think that speaks to your lumbar column being more open to rotation. And I think as we have you stand and walk a little bit, we'll probably see why. Let's just go this way again. Notice how you're able to surrender more freely, fewer stop starts. And I'll challenge you a little bit. And we are further than we were the first rotational pass. And tell me again, where do you feel tightness restriction?
Yeah, more in the mid back, I'd say.
So as I nudge you a little further, how does that go down into your low back?
I don't feel very much in the low back.
All right, well, just with a little movement and a little sensory focus, things are already changing. So we're partly doing assessment, but we're also partly initiating our treatment. As I challenge you a little bit this way, how are things?
Yeah, I can still feel the same kind of on the side of the mid back.
So left side. And
no, on the right side, actually. Like on this side.
All right. Now come around to the center again, and let's just check your neck rotation. I have her head very gently cradled in my hands, a little tilt back of her head. And how does that feel through your neck, trapezius complex?
Feels okay. Yeah, I don't notice too much.
All right, let's go this way. Perhaps a little more resistant this way. Yes. But I'm surprised. You've got a lot of free rotational movement in your neck, and I'm not feeling locked in tension through here. So that's good news. Okay, so I'm going to have you stand, Christina, and I want to take a little look at your walk, front and back. And if you don't mind, can we just pull this up a little bit so we can really clearly see the line of your waist? Now, just as we stand here, I want you all to notice how there's more length through this side and a little contraction through this side. So her pelvis is tending to have a little rotation this way, drawn up by her back muscles over here, more length over here. And I'll help you exaggerate that a little bit. And feel how that pelvis, as I go the opposite way, feel the resistance to that pelvis tilting the opposite way. Feel how much more readily it tilts in your chronic holding pattern. So we have a little contraction through the low back here, and this side is longer and freer. That's